ethics course with a presentation by Mr. Michael Harris-Bey as a guest speaker. We have Tony Nelson, Nathan Getting, Vita Tucker, Professor Maria Chimatele, and hopefully others will just fall in and make themselves welcome. But we're going to touch on the CWC, which is Community Working Classes Program, founded by Professor Michael DeWilde, that carried over into the Muskegon Correctional Facility in 1999 and flourished into a second program, which was also titled Community Working Classics Leadership Program, which kicked up in 2005, and the program was extended with a grant from the W. Kellogg Foundation, which extended an allocated amount of funds to the prisoners to create and oversee programs inside communities throughout Michigan. I myself was proud to be a participant in that program. I now have been released. I got released on August 14th of 2007. Has been out enjoying life, and I'm working. I'm running my own business. I'm very instrumental in my family's life, relationship, and had the pleasure to be asked to come back and join a couple of my old friends. JP is one that you can't see because he's behind the camera. Tony and Getting and most of the professors you would see. I acquired a very good relationship with them. Being an outstanding student in the class, as I always try to be outstanding. Extraordinary tendencies just came. I don't know where they come from, but special people get special results, and I always try to get special results. You got enough, or do I need to keep talking? You keep running my mouth.
So Michael, what were your first impressions of Michael?
That's a good question. What were my first impressions? I think they were of a twofold nature. One, this was somebody that I could trust to help me build this program. He was the ultimate insider. Was respected. He knew the place. He was obviously a leader, both by position and by temperament.
Where I was at, it really didn't take much to be a leader because you had followers from the jump, from the gate. They came in prison, followers. So it didn't take much to be a leader, but it took you being able to be honest around a lot of people who were being misleading, and it took you to be strong in a place where a lot of people end up there because of weakness, and their weakness was not being able to say no sometimes when they need to say no. So I didn't spend 10 years in prison. I spent 10 years at a prison. And when I was at that prison, I decided what I was going to do there. When you believe and you think that you're in prison, prison controls what you do. The guys around you, what goes on there controls what you do. I was just at a prison, just like I'm at this house now, just like I'm at any other place. As long as I understand that I control my own destiny, my own outcome, I can be comfortable anywhere. And I can be just as comfortable transitioning from that condition to another.
Doesn't mean you want to go back.
In no sense.
What do you...
But I have met a lot of guys that came home before or after me that has been back and been out again, and some are back now. And their reasons for doing whatever they did, I can't understand it. It's just that, how much did you really think you lost when you was there? Because if you recognize how much you lost as I did, you would never put yourself in a situation of going back there. I lost too much. Just to give y'all some background information, I went to prison for conspiracy to kidnap and armed robbery. And I was on a case with 3 other guys. It was 4 of us all together. And what happened was that my friends that I was in the drug business with made a decision to rob one of our suppliers. And in that act of robbing him, they called me. I made efforts to see where they was at. I went to go get them. When I pulled up to the house, the guys come out wearing ski masks, book bags, carrying assault rifles, pistols, and everything else. And they jump in my car. Being I was a criminal then, when they jumped in my car, I wasn't too much worried about what was going on. I'm just, get in, we got to go. On our way leaving, I found out one guy was supposedly shot and one guy was killed. Being a criminal then, I wasn't too much concerned about it because that was just the life I was involved in. But
the guys you were with, or the guys you were with killed other people?
Yeah, the guys that I went to go pick up, but they were the guys I was selling drugs with. I knew them.
They killed people that you weren't with.
Right. And they got caught. They were on the news. They got caught. All 3 of them names were on the news, and their picture was on the news. They got picked up and went to trial. They got convicted. See, 2 years later, 1.5 to 2 years later, the police come to get me. In the long run, the guy who actually committed the murder did only 3 years in prison. I myself wound up doing 10 in prison. And I still to this day don't try to persuade anybody that I didn't do anything, but that is a question of our justice system to the point of what is it created for? Is it created to administer justice, which is a balance in the society, or is it for prosecutors and those who have bar degrees to up their records and just get convictions? That's a question that can be thrown around, and it's always going to be tried to understood if how to make our correction system work. One way is to take rehabilitation as the real goal. Because at this time, the way Engler set it up, our correction department, it wasn't set up as rehabilitation. It was set up to get small towns in Michigan funds through the census, which means we set a prison up in your town, we add the prisoners that we house there to your system, census, and your town gets money for them. That's why we have, it was at one point in time, 48 prisons in Michigan. And it started off as only 3, which was Marquette, Jackson, and Ionia. But they're starting to close them now. And you may have seen that a lot of the officers of the prison they're closing are against it. Because it's not so much they're losing the job, it's that their town loses that funding that they get for that prison being there. So you have that effect being coupled by the police and the crime rates within the inner cities. Because if you create the prisons, of course you're gonna have places to place them, because look at the inner cities. If we taking money from the schools in the inner city and place them into building prisons, that only creates a steam line. Because if you don't have the education here, if you don't have the programs to help you here, eventually you're going to get into a criminal act, and then we have a place for you.
I know a lot of people in prison are there because, in part because they never got the education that they deserved or had the opportunities they deserved. And so I can understand a prisoner perhaps saying, well, I'm finally getting the education I should have gotten a long time ago. I deserve this. You know, and I can understand also, because I know from experience, the majority of people I've encountered saying prisoners do not deserve this education. You are wasting your time with them. You know, where do you come down on this, and how do you regard the education you got? Was it a right or a privilege?
Both. Not the right and privilege, but the gift. Because it was a gift, not the education, but those who taught us made it a gift. The professors made it a gift, because the way they taught, it would be hard to get that anywhere else. The information, you can get it out of a book, but that, I believe, is a right. The information, everybody should have the right to the same type of information. But the gift comes in when you have those that skilled, as the professors we had, and the way they taught us. It was, if that's how college is, can't wait. Can't wait. And I hate to have to go to college and don't be presented with that type of teacher. You know, because my expectations through this program is that our professors bring it every day. They bring it, so I have no choice but to bring it too. And when you have both expectations sitting up here, it's the greatest classroom in the world. When your professors are expecting this and they bring in their A game, and when the students are expecting this and they bring in their A game, when you walk in that classroom, it's the energy that's going on. Everybody is involved. If you ain't raising your hand or in it, you can see it in their face if they thinking about it and they, ooh. Something is going, ain't nobody sitting back doodling. It's like everybody is engaged because we only got 2 hours, if that. And that's once a week. So when that 2 hours come, we're not gonna lose a minute or a second. So that was the gift part in it, was that the type of teachers we had. But I believe it's everybody's right to have that opportunity to be introduced to that information. We had so many people that was, especially in the GD class, asking us questions, trying to get us to help them with their homework, or they'll see something on TV. Half the people in prison swear they know what's going on CNN and don't really know. Because I thought I knew, but when I took the logic course and the rhetoric with the jargon, and it was like, wow, I really understand what they're talking about. And I understand it's how they are. Before, everything on CNN I just thought was so much important news. And to this day, every time especially through this political process, it's like with all the fallacies, the straw man, the slippery slope, and you just hear them and it's like, wow, it slipped right past me before I learned this. I couldn't even recognize what a slippery slope was, but I would do it all the time myself. See, if this happened, if that happened, this gonna happen, then that's gonna happen, and then you're gonna end up with this. Where you get that from? And now I recognize it, and a lot of people was like, man, can we just watch the news? Can we just watch it? You ain't got to say. My roommate was, can we just watch this without you breaking down everything they say? And it was hard not to. It was hard not to, but some people, they started enjoying it because now they started learning the certain different kind of speak that people talk with.
Now you know why they killed Socrates.
Wow. Muskegon, wow, when I left, when I transferred, everywhere I went, you just came from where? You was in that class. I'm like, whoa. Man, you scared. I thought you was about to do something. They was so like, because so many guys was trying to transfer from where they was to get to Muskegon.
Wow.
And it was like, how you hear about it? Man, y'all was on the news. Man, I was trying to get to, they still got it going on? I'm like, yeah. I was like, we trying to get it expanded, but we gonna have to wait a bit because it's only funded for a small period of time now. But if those guys do what we supposed to be doing, next time it pop up, we might have a little more money to put in a little more prison. They was like, ooh, if I could have got that. Because the places I went was most of the guys was on their way home. Mm-hmm. They were just like, I wish I could have got it before I went home. And then several officers heard about it. One of them was the meanest person I ever met in my life. He took everything I had. All my school books, all the folders, the highlighters, everything you, Tony, gave me as part of materials for the group.
Smuggled into the prison. So many pen refills for you guys.
But all the material, and I'm talking about book material. Mm-hmm. He took it all. And I'm like, sir, all that was brought in properly. It was brought in. I have a property slip with all of it because when you transfer, you got to write down a list of what you got. And I'm like, how can I sneak this in here? It's not, it was a program we was doing down in Muskegon. I heard about the program. You guys had too much leeway. Come on, man, how do you say that? You're not there? Where are you getting your information from? You act like they drive us out of prison to go to school and bring us back. Everything was, we didn't go nowhere, everything was brought to us. And I even went to the point where like, oh, well, sir, can I at least show you, because we had the Grand Valley State Magazine article done. Oh, yeah. I was like, can I at least show you the article? Like, what, are you trying to be condescending? I don't need to read the article. I'm not trying. Sorry, this is how I got the supplies about this. The grant is stated right. Yeah, you don't need to hide that. He took the magazine.
It's not funny.
It's not funny,
but it's funny now.
It's very comical now.